All right, fantastic, fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Let's kick this off. Where are you joining from? Tell us in the chat. Just type in the chat as to where you are joining us from. Let's see some cities and countries pop up over here. Beautiful, beautiful. That looks amazing. Let me turn that around a bit. You know what? I find this a little difficult. So I'm going to move to a regular, plain old 2D map. I love the 3D one, but all right, who do we have? We have someone from Chicago. We got GB in Chicago. We got folks in Chad in Africa. We got people in Oman. Stay safe, folks. People in Shillong. Beautiful. Where else do we have people? This is beautiful. Let's fly around the world. We got people all the way. Gosh, it's 11 o'clock in the evening in Japan and it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit. What's that in centigrade? Minus 1.4. Thank you so much for joining us. Beautiful. All right, let's get this going. Okay, this is an Oscar quiz. We are testing, getting ready for Oscar weekend, and I've got a bunch of questions for you. So brace yourself. Let's get started. All you got to do is participate in the chat. Just type answers in the chat. I'll keep giving you instructions. Don't worry about that. First of all, let me see if you can actually see me. So I just need to make sure my face is here, and I just realized it's not, and there I am. Perfect. So give me a thumbs up if you can see my face in the stream. I don't know what I'm doing, so maybe you can, maybe you can't, but I would love to see some thumbs ups over there. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, folks. Let's move on. Okay. Right. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen an Oscar live in a long time. So if you've seen the Oscars live anytime in the last 3 years, just type the number 1 or just type yes in the chat. If you haven't seen it in the last 3 years, type the number 2. Live, okay? Live. I'm not talking recordings. I mean, those don't count. All right. We've got, whoa, things are shifting. We got 25%, 40%. I feel like a horse race commentator. 60% of the room have not seen the Oscars live in the last 3 years, and about 40% of you have. That's fantastic. Okay, that's inching up a little bit more. We got more people. It's almost neck to neck, but there are more no's than yeses, which is, I don't know, should I be surprised? Not sure. Oh, we got even more no's now. We got about 62% saying no. Right, I guess you can blame it on streaming and everything. People wait for the highlights, wait for the recordings, and just watch it. Chris Rock versus Will Smith, absolutely. That is, what is it called? Slapgate? Yeah, Slapgate, I think. Thank you for joining us. The facilitator is in the room. And folks, when you think of Oscars, don't overthink this. What's the first word that comes to your mind? Spontaneity, put the first word. Don't overthink it. This is not a quiz. There are no points, at least not yet a quiz. We're getting to the quiz in a bit, but right now there are no movies. Yes, what else? What else? Pizzazz. All right, what else? I only watched something. One word, folks. You will have opportunities to talk about sentences later. I have good movie. What else? Actor, good movie, movies. Any more responses? Okay. All right, I'm just going to take all your responses and let's get a picture with everything you said. I'm curious to see what comes up over here. I have absolutely no idea what you're going to do, but I'm taking all your responses to this question on what comes to mind when you see the Oscars. Hey, that's not a bad image. What? There were 2 Oscars, lots of fuzz. Let's put a new one. Let's see what happens. I love this because there's so much of surprise. You have no clue what's going to come up, what kind of picture is going to come up. It might shock you, it might surprise you, but hey, that's what we signed up for. And 3-piece tux, people very formal, and the Oscar icon in 6-pack glory right there in the middle. All right, quiz time, folks. Fingers on the buzzer. There are points for getting the right answer. There are points for getting no points for getting the wrong answer, obviously. Some of the questions might have extra points for answering faster, so we're not going to tell you which ones and if they do, but 5 questions on movies. Don't Google it, don't ChatGPT it, don't Perplexity it, don't Claude it, don't Gemini it, don't, you know what I mean. Just if you know the answer, you do. If you don't, there are no points for being able to search it out. So guess it, think about it, and let's kick it off. We are going to have about 60 seconds, but you will probably have less than that because streaming latency and other things. So the moment you see the question, answer it as fast as possible. You might see it say 60 seconds, but it might actually be less than that, which is one of the interesting challenges of doing this over a stream. But let's have fun. Let's do it. All right, first question. Which film holds a record for the most Oscar wins? Is it Ben-Hur? Is it The Lord of the Rings? Is it Titanic? Is it all of the above? I'm looking for ones, twos, threes, and fours in the chat. Just type in the chat, please. All right. We've got a few ones, we've got a few twos, we've got someone saying all of the above. It's all split in the middle. We've got people answering all four. In my screen, it says 29 seconds more. You're probably going to hear and see this only after 10, 15, 5 seconds, depending on your latency. But hey, time is running out. I've got 7 responses so far. If you haven't, speak now or forever hold your peace. Ben-Hur, The Lord of the Rings, Titanic, all of the above. And time's up. And the answer is Ben-Hur. I think one person got that. Sorry, all of the above. It's not Ben-Hur. A lot of people said Ben-Hur, but it's not Ben-Hur. The answer is all of the above, and it's one person who got that right. Let's look at the leaderboard, and whoa, Duncan, 690 points for getting that right, and a whole bunch of other folks who tried but did not get it right. So Duncan is on top of the table, but we've got 4 questions to go. So let's see if someone else is going to move Duncan off that top perch. And the only way to find out is to keep going. By the way, fun fact, all these movies won 11 Oscars each. 11 Oscars each. Let's see if that's going to be beat this year by the favorites. And let's move on to the next question. Speaking of this year, 2026, which film received a record 16 nominations for the 2026 Academy Awards happening this Sunday? One of these films got 16 nominations. You don't have much more time, more points for faster answers. Put those answers in there in the chat. Someone thinks it's Frankenstein. Beautiful movie. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's a labor of love. It's beautifully done. I haven't seen Hamlet. I've seen Sinners. I loved Marty Supreme because I love ping pong, table tennis, whatever you call it in your part of the world. A lot of people rooting for Sinners and Hamlet and Sinners and Frankenstein neck to neck. Frankenstein leads, Sinners is below. We got 40 seconds left at my clock. Lesser for you because you are seeing this a few seconds later. Few could be 5, 10, 15. We don't know. So put your answers in there. Frankenstein's in the lead. Is it Frankenstein? That's what people think it is, but it's Sinners, and not bad. We have 3 people who answered that right. Let's see who thought it's Sinners. All right, Stream Alive and Fried Rice. Beautiful name. Bimon is also up there. Stream Alive answered a little faster than Fried Rice, who answered a little faster than Bimon, who answered. Duncan still at 690 points, which means Duncan did not get this one right. So don't worry, folks. You got 3 more questions to claim it. Sinners, a beautiful movie. Check it out if you haven't. And 16 Oscar nominations. If it wins more than 11 of those 16, it is the new favorite. And you can tell everyone that there were 3 other films that won 11 Oscars. So you sound very, very informed on Oscar weekend. Who has won the most Oscars of all time? Steven Spielberg. If you think it's Steven Spielberg, the number 1. If it's Walt Disney, the number 2. Oh, this one had just a few seconds. Gosh, okay. I don't think you had time to answer this one, but hey, let's discount this one because I think I might have put just about 5 or 10 seconds for this, but you learned something. It's Walt Disney. He won, I think, 20-something Oscars. He's been nominated for about 59 of them, so some phenomenal numbers over there. Let me go back here and let's pause. We're going to the next question. I'm just going to pause it for a second and see if I can change the time and give you folks more time because For some reason, I forgot to set the time here to 60 seconds and we've got only 15, which is not fair. That is not being nice. So let's make this 60 seconds. I've changed that now. And let's see what happens. Only one way to find out. And again, we can look at this. Oh, you can see the right answer here. Sorry. Whoops. I shouldn't have shared my screen there. Okay, this one doesn't count either. Cool. So give me a second, folks. I am going to, this question is discounted, but you know the answer to this one. Beauty and the Beast was the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture, and that was in 1992. I'm just going to switch screens a little bit, so I'm going to ask you folks to hold on there. But here's a quick quiz question that is not here. Who did Beauty and the Beast lose to? They were nominated for Best Picture. They did not win it in 1992, and that's a hint. Don't Google it up. There's a very famous movie that won the Oscar for Best Film in Best Picture in 1992. And I want you to type that in the chat as I figure out how to change the settings for my next one without showing you the answer. So give me a second while I stop sharing. I go to the last one. We got one more question that we're going to ask. Sorry, I killed off two questions, but hey, that's part of the fun of testing these things out. I should have put more time on the clock for those questions. I put only 15 seconds for each. Very, very unfair. And let's come back to this question in a second. Let me share my screen. Where are we? Let us share screen. Okay. All right. Everyone is a winner. They did not win to Titanic. Someone said Titanic. I'm looking for Titanic. Am I that old? You will be surprised with the answer. I don't know which one came earlier, but the answer is actually. Any other guesses? The answer is Silence of the Lambs. All right, let's go with this question. Someone answered it. You were too early. Hang on a sec. It's getting in now. Okay, which is the only sequel to win an Oscar for Best Picture? One of these things is a sequel that won an Oscar for Best Picture. Is it The Dark Knight? Is it The Godfather? Is it Toy Story or is it Terminator? Oops, it didn't take my time change there. So my bad. It was only 15 seconds on the clock. Sorry about that. We had a few answers coming. Let's see what happened. Oh, we have Duncan back up there on top. We have Stream Alive in second place. We have Fried Rice in the third place. And we have Bimon in fourth place. And those are our final leaderboards. I know I killed two questions and I gave you 15 seconds. I cheated a little bit. But hey, we'll keep doing these things. If you enjoyed it, keep following us for more quizzes like this. The best part is you don't need to leave the platform. Just type in the chat and your responses are automatically captured by Stream Alive, which is unmuting the audience from the chat and doing all this magic that you're seeing here right now. I have two more things I'd love to hear from you. A lot of talk around AI in filmmaking. It is going to be, I'm willing to bet that there's going to be at least 5 references to it in the Oscars, in the, by the compare, by people. What do you folks think about AI in filmmaking? I'm just curious. I mean, a sentence is, you don't have to answer in a word or so. You can answer in a few words in a sentence. Just type it out there, please. What are your thoughts on AI in filmmaking? We have a one from Tina, which I presume is an answer to the previous one. Tina, thank you for participating, but that's a little late and we're not going to count that one. We're looking for responses here for your thoughts on AI in filmmaking. Fried Rice thinks it's revolutionary. Let's get some more answers in there, folks. Don't be shy. Tell us what you think. It's going to change the landscape. All right. I don't know if you mean it's going to change the landscape in a good way or a bad way. And JV0348, feel free to chime in and add on more on whether it's going to change the landscape in a good way, bad way, horrible way, irreversible. I wish we hadn't let the genie out of the bottle way, interesting way. Let's get some more responses there, folks. What do you think about AI in filmmaking? It's cool when you create filler clips. Oh, yes, absolutely. Unrealistic is what Stream Alive says. Right, cool. It's going to be exciting. I couldn't agree more or less. There will be more movies. Nice. Oh, this is a Tetris-inspired feature, by the way, where, everything disappears in the bottom after the answers come in. I love this. With a soft thud, as the sound is called. My co-founders are big Tetris fans, and this is inspired by their love for Tetris. One of the best games ever, past, present, future. One of the best movies ever as well. Watch the movie on Dark Mirror stuff. I couldn't agree more. Constantine Marring 792 and more garbage. JV, you are changing your stance. You said interesting, you said fascinating, and now you're saying garbage. You are all over the place, my friend, which is not a bad place to be. Cost cutting, all of those. I'm just going to summarize what all of you said because there's a lot of responses. I didn't have time to read everything. Uh, Partha Ramcheri thinks it's about cost cutting. Let me summarize what you all said. Okay, let's see. So I'm using AI ironically to summarize what you said. You said it's going to transform the industry with faster content, risk of lower quality, unrealistic outputs, quality concerns, creative potential, new ideas, and caution and criticism. About 60 to 70% of you are positive about it, and 30 to 40% are a little darker about it. A lot of notable quotes out there that we called out. It's going to change the landscape. It sure is, and it's already doing that, right? If we were in a live workshop where I could unmute you, which I can't do in a live stream like this, I would have taken all of you, spun your names in a wheel here right now, and had a bit of fun with that, and said, "Hey, who's going to stop in? Who's going to stop in?" Partha Ramcheri, you said cost cutting, and you said cool. Two opposite ends of the spectrum. Unmute yourself and tell us more. Since I can't let you unmute yourself, Partha, just type it in the chat as to why you think it is both of those things. But thank you for participating. This is a wheel spun with everybody who answered that last one. And speaking of wheels, I got one more. And I don't have any prizes here right now, but if I did, I would give it to one of you. And I want to show you some magic here. Just type the word Oscar in the chat. OSCAR. You don't need to put the quotes in there. That's just to explain to you what it is. Just type the word Oscar in the chat, please. And anyone who types the word Oscar, just like that, magically is going to see their name come up on my screen. Look at that. That's magic, right? You got Bimon and Partho and JV and Fried rice is everywhere. Fried rice is not content being on top of the table. Was it? No, it was Duncan on top of the table, right? And okay, I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds, and girls, a few more seconds. Just type the word Oscar in the chat, and just like magic, it is actually magic. Stream Alive is reading the chat, taking anyone who types the word Oscar, putting their name in here on my magic wheel, which I am going to spin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if I had an Oscar trophy over here, that Oscar would go to JV0348. He thinks it is interesting what AI is doing in filmmaking. It is scary. It is this. And JV, if you remember, had opinions that were left, right, center, everything. But JV also said there will be more movies. What else did? Answered a lot of questions on the quiz. Let's see what else we had from JV. Beautiful. Awesome. This is fantastic. I am going to see if there were any questions. I don't think this is not a Q&A session, but hey, let's see. Where is Lux? Where is Peru? I didn't even get 0 points. Why do I always get it wrong? Am I that old? Facilitator, you are not that old. Silence the Lambs before or after Titanic? I don't know. And Constantine, you don't always get it wrong, my friend. I think you won one of the things over here. But there is going to be next time, and I killed 2 of the questions. So my bad on that. Let's just see what we have on the leaderboard just for participation. Tina put 17 comments, Stream Alive 12, the facilitator. Thank you for all that participation, folks. Facilitator at 10, Partho at 9, 8, 7, and I feel like I'm counting down to a rocket launch, but we've got people participating. And Bimon, you got 1. Oh, you joined up with another ID and you got 5 over there. Fantastic. Beautiful. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be signing off. We're going to keep doing a lot of these, so be sure to follow Stream Alive. We'll have these surprise pop quizzes when you're testing things on the platform. If you stream anywhere and you want to get your audience into the picture like I did today, sign up for Stream Alive. It's free to try, and streamalive.com. I'm Lux Narayan. Thank you so much for joining us today. Take care.